Are we gonna get together? What's up, everybody? I'm Energy.
I'm Chi.
I'm Rochelle. And this is Therapy, Not Therapy.
A podcast about our thoughts, our dreams,
and everything in between.
Dealing with our feelings and spiritualities.
So come meet us at the table every week where we unpack all of the things. So can we talk about it?
Can we talk? Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your name. Can we talk for a minute?
Oh, come on. Yes.
Smooth.
It's exciting. It's different. It's
We're
different.
Hey, y'all.
We're here.
Live.
We're here.
We're here.
Instead of an episode.
Yes.
We
We are
decided to go
live.
Yes.
Giving it to you.
From the studio.
From MPN Network Night. Shout out to Mr. Alpete. Shout out to MPN Network.
We are part of a really great network full of amazing podcasts. So if you're tuning in now, that means you've already caught a glimpse of some of them, right? And we're just in the middle, getting in where we fit in, and giving you guys, I guess, a microdose of what we do every week that we step in the building. So yeah.
Saying hey to the people that are watching right now. This is our second live, so it's we're just happy to be here.
Yeah.
Engage in conversations, talk about our regular days, what you feeling. We're gonna get into it. I just want to say hey.
Hey. Hey, everybody.
No, it's really nice to go live. I think it's good because we don't often get to do that with our viewers.
Yeah.
It's a
different
breath.
way to engage.
It's a breath.
Different way to connect with y'all, talk to you, hopefully a little bit more. Just for the sake of argument, if you guys don't know who we are, this is Therapy Not Therapy, and I am Energy.
I'm Chi.
And I'm Shell.
And we thank you so much for joining us on our live.
Because I'm honorary fourth member here.
Okay.
My little brother Flash is in the building.
Flash
Just
is in the
because. Which is, you know what though? It's funny because I feel like what we were just talking about falls in line to what I feel like we're gonna talk about. But
yes, so much. Okay.
Right. So let's get to it. So should we describe, I guess, how we kind of go into our modes a little bit for the viewers out there?
Yes, yeah. So we always start by introducing ourselves. We have our opening. We share our socials. So if you are not connected on any of the other platforms, you can find us everywhere at TNTPODJAX. You can contact us at tntpodjacks@gmail.com. And we just want to say also thank you for the people that have been rocking with us so far. Like she said, we are in the middle of our second season. We just hit a major milestone of 1,000 downloads. So we thank y'all because you're out there. We really appreciate it.
All over the world. Let me say that internationally, all over the world.
All of the continents, okay?
All the continents.
All of them, except Antarctica, and that's fine. We going out there too. Not for real, but in spirit.
We would never.
I
would never.
I'm cold now, so no. But so after that we introduce ourselves. We have a segment with our church announcements where we tell y'all, what we have going on during the week, because we're all individual artists. We have different projects that we're working on all the time, and we want to let y'all know what's going on with that. And then after that, we have our segment where we ask each other, what's in your bag for the week? So we talk about things that are on our minds, something we want to let go of, decompress, because Therapy Not Therapy, if you don't know, really the origin of it started in the group chat.
Yes.
That is where this came from.
Having a real ass conversation.
A real ass conversation.
Real ass voice memos.
Real ass voice.
About voice memos.
Girl chiming in. Hello.
Gotta tap in. And it just became this thing. We have such great conversations with one another, and we've all had our experiences with therapy.
Yes.
In one way or another, whether that's clinical therapy, talking to our group chat, our friends, our family, and decompressing, whatever it is. And we thought it would be a good way to just kind of bring the dialogue to the public, and just also share the conversation.
Yeah, like amongst each other, because I think sometimes therapy is looked at something so far away.
Right. Yeah. And inaccessible, and it's not.
Yeah. And I would like to think when we think of Therapy Not Therapy, it's almost like a sense of conversation becoming cathartic.
Yes.
And you know how important it is just to have good conversations with the people in your life. And if you find yourself in the company of people that you can't talk to, then that's tea. That's something that, you know, it speaks volumes to how you're moving in your life. So therapy not therapy is I think a great reflection of that, just being able to have the great people around you to talk to about real shit, because how are we supposed to,
and creating your own safe spaces.
That's how we create safe spaces amongst each other,
holding space for one another, being there for each other, and just really just having the space to talk and unload and listen. It's not even always about solving a problem so much as
it's just having
processing
the ability to do that.
Can we process?
Because sometimes you don't even know how to process. You just need the space to let it out. Like, just, girl, X, Y, and Z. Like, I don't know how I'm feeling, but I just need to get this off my chest. Just having that space to do it.
Me on today.
And blessed though, blessed for my homies and my brothers out there, because a lot of times they want to fix everything.
Yeah.
Straight solution. Straight solution, which is great.
Solution oriented. It's
fun. But it's also, you know, it's good to talk. It's good to get things out.
Yeah.
To get the issue out so you can see it clearly. You know. So I think we do a good job talking about that kind of stuff.
Normalizing healthy conversations.
Yeah, we need that.
Because it's important.
Yes.
We need that.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes. I love it. So, so what is in y'all's bags? Do you have bags that you wanna? I don't really have a bag.
Right. I think I got a pre-auntie bag, to be honest. Pre-auntie. You know, I just got done teaching the kids, 2 days in a row. Listen. That workshop. If y'all need to get these hands, and I mean it like hands. Hey, not hands. Just saying. I mean, sometimes. Don't try it. Sometimes. Don't try it. Because you see how fast this goes.
Yeah.
Just slap. But if you ever are interested to like take a class or anything, please just be on the lookout on either Seashell 86 or my community page. I'm always trying to do something in the community.
In the mist.
Yes.
In the midst, Jacks.
_
Yes.
Okay. Just be on the lookout. I just did my first Vogue Fusion workshop. Woo!
And it looked great.
Oh my God. Good. It was live, so I got 2 more left. Fusion in March is more of like learning the body technique within the hip hop style, and you dance barefoot. So it's basically like a modern contemporary feel. This is one of the what I'm presenting is something that I've gained on my personal journey as a dancer.
Yeah.
And this came from being a part of a modern company and feeling like, why can I dance in tennis shoes on the Marley floor? So this is where hip hop, the groundedness of the movement style got fused with the modern contemporary. So when that happened, I was like, okay, I could still have the original scent of hip hop, but respect the modern contemporary. Yeah. So that's what I'm bringing together. Yes, because I mean, dance, they all align in one shape or form. They're just spoken differently. And this is one of the languages I got a chance to speak on, so I wanted to share. So that's what's happening in March.
I like that.
Just click on the link on the bio, okay, and get more of the tea on the type of workshops I'm gonna be offering, and just stay tuned because got a couple up my sleeves. So I feel like coming out from the Vogue hands, but really preparing for the arrival. That's all I'm thinking about. Period. That's all I'm thinking about.
We got through the shower.
Yes.
Now it's just a matter of time.
Right. And then in the midst of that, I got my baby's birthday coming up, okay? So I'm also on that. Make sure you say happy birthday, Cheryl. Please.
Pisces season.
My baby.
Gang, gang.
Okay, so that's all I got in my bag.
No, right? Baby bag.
Yeah, I got my baby bag on me, y'all.
She's on it. She's ready.
We are at 37.
We are 9 months
Okay,
plus.
so y'all, let me say this out loud. So it's 40 weeks, right? 40 is full term pregnancy. 40. We are at 37. Hello? How did we get this far? I remember.
I feel like you just told us.
I feel like I did too.
It was literally just yesterday.
And now I can't see my feet.
We just saw the stick.
I know.
Now I can't see my feet. Now I struggle. I roll out of the bed. Like we are literally. But but I'm excited to meet her. I am too. It's so much preparation, and I feel like after the shower, like it was like, okay. We got that. Yeah, now I can breathe and I can just anticipate outside of photos, because me and Rob are going to do that soon. But outside of photos, all I have, they're going to be dramatic, girl.
See.
You know they're going to be the most. They're going to be the most. But Yeah, it's about time for her to come. Her arrival date is Pi Day. Look, see? Gunning. Good luck. He winning though. You winning though.
Up and running. Up and running.
Ain't nothing. I gotta. But, because I'm Kiki. Me and Flash are Kiki all day, low key. But, yeah, she's Pi Day. That's her due date.
Oh my gosh.
And
to me, I feel like she's going to come on Pi Day. It just makes sense. I mean, you love pizza.
I know. And I love
so much.
pie.
It just makes
That's
sense.
my little pie.
Yeah.
My little pie.
You see the pool? Look, she's going to happen.
Don't cry.
So, I'm
I see
yeah.
moisture in your eyes.
We're not doing it.
I'm not.
We're not doing it.
I'm not.
Gathering it.
Gather.
Baby back. Bring it back. Okay.
But yes, so that's where I am. It's been a long journey, and if you've listened, you've been a part of a good bit of it since October, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Been talking about this, and so yeah, we are on month 9. I checked the other day, and I was like, "Am I 9 months now? Are we kidding?" Like, so
That's even crazy for you to say that, like, during the whole time of us podcasting.
Yeah.
It's been literally you growing.
Or it's been here the whole time.
All the way through.
And not only that, like, I've been working on LC's album, like, nonstop.
Put out
24-hour session.
24-hour sessions, performing, like, photo shoots. Like, she's been a part of everything.
Cried.
Yeah, I know.
I cried.
You know what's
okay.
funny? It's like, get this man a mic.
I know, right?
Come on.
Eventually it's gonna happen. The chair is there, so
He's gonna find his way to the
it's just
table.
gonna become a thing.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to what's to come. Cause one of these episodes y'all gonna see her sitting right there.
I can't wait.
I know, y'all.
Oh,
What
got
is
the oh my god. Okay, pull it together. I'm sorry.
Pull it. So that's what we're kind of having a joint bag here.
Yes.
We're having a joint
Joint
bag.
bag, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're in that bag too,
I'm in
actually.
the bag. I'm
Yeah.
also helping to carry the auntie bag. I'm
Yes.
very excited.
Yes.
I'm very excited
That's a
about
big
that. I'm
auntie
glad the
bag.
shower went well. It was beautiful.
Shout out to Jinju.
Shout out to Jinju Enterprises
Y'all,
for
my
doing
mama.
the damn thing. My mama
Yes.
came
Let me say
through.
this. I'm gonna hold this out because if y'all need an event or anything,
I'm just saying she's
weddings, like, you know what I mean, baby showers,
the best. All the
parties.
things.
Her mom is phenomenal. She's on point. She did everything that I wanted and more. It was gorgeous. And it was. Your mom's amazing. She's the best. Like, I love her. So
I love her
Jinju with a J.
JENJU
Please.
Enterprises
Hit her
LLC.
up. She'll get you together and find you at good budget too.
Because it was cute.
Because what we not gonna
It
do?
was cute.
Okay.
She gonna hold you down.
Because there is a whole paragraph happening outside. Okay.
That shit was wild.
People's
See,
budgets.
We have a witness.
Flash is testifying.
Yeah.
That shit was yo, I walked in there just like
Okay, wasn't it? It was just like
the cake and from the
Yes.
food.
Your
The
mom
cake
is
is
the
so
bomb.
good. Yes.
She's the bomb.
yes, yes.
I hugged her and was like, "Thank you."
You know what? It's like the motherly, grandmotherly. It's
Yes,
like
she's
this.
got mommy
It's the
vibes.
touch.
It's
It's the touch.
Yeah.
Her touch.
Yes.
Like, I knew everything was gonna be taken care of. Just when she told me,
Mhm.
I was like, I trust.
Mm,
I trust.
yes.
That makes me feel good.
Yes.
I'm proud of my mommy.
That was awesome.
Juju. Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Come on.
I hope she
I'm gonna
see
show
that.
her this.
Yeah.
She's like, oh my god! She gets so excited.
Fan club.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't really have a bag. I've been, it'll float into our conversation. I've been very productive this week. I can't really remember last week because I know it was a lot. Like, it was just one thing after the other leading up to the baby shower. So I'm really just glad to be able to breathe this
There's a
week.
lot of new stuff. Though.
Lots of new stuff. Lots of new stuff. New at-home gig. New things happening in life. Getting over certain hurdles and humps, and I'm good. I'm where I'm at. I'm
Yes.
here.
You've been doing great though. Your
I'm
clipboard
doing my
has
best.
been
I had to
doing
control her.
amazing.
She's color coded, but she's calmed down
She's-
just a bit.
yes.
You've been doing so good.
We're trying to work together.
Come on.
Because Jesus.
Right. Hello.
Yeah.
Your shit used to be in flames.
Girl, just on fire.
But she be right in the flames though.
Well, you got a fire pin. Scorch.
Just,
Deep.
doing the most. But yeah,
That's it.
that's it.
Oh, I do want to add though, okay, because the last couple episodes I had said that I was gonna perform at the Melanin Market,
Update.
and this is the update. So just put it out there. We will not be performing this weekend, just off the strength of, like you said, clipboards. There was a lot
Scheduling, lots going
was
on.
going on, and intentionally, bless it, I wanted to be a part just because I love what it represents. However, the way that time was set up, it was just not, it wasn't flowing. So
Yeah.
announcement
Yeah,
that that In the Mist will not be performing out there. However, they are looking for people. So if you're a freestyler, if you're a company, if you just an overall dance creative and you want to showcase or you want to, put yourself out there, Melanin Market, they are looking for entertainers in the dance field to come and just connect. So again, follow their page, Melanin Market, Jack's Melanin Market, I believe, and just connect with the coordinator. And yeah, so because your girl can't do it, but for a good cause, because like I said, I was being
She was
pre-auntie.
auntieing. She was auntieing.
That's it, and that's very new to me.
And she's in full-fledged auntie mode.
Yes,
Like,
it's so strong that I don't
Auntie
even know it's that
mode.
strong.
Yeah, auntie mode. is
Yes.
intense. I mean, pre-mommy mode is a lot.
pre-mommy mode, yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, so I'll throw it to you, Chi, and this is where we're going to talk about the main part of our conversation. We want to lead us into our conversation today.
Okay. So we're talking about the main squeeze. Okay,
The
so yeah, so what was interesting is that before we got on the live, we were talking about how our clipboards, how we love clipboards, we love organizing, we love time, and it's no surprise that we're talking about that because while we are in Pisces season, and that can be very cloudy and foggy, aloof, very
Dreamy.
just dreamy, just very like, what's going on? I have no concept of time,
Just
flowy. Yeah, just
flowy.
very flowy.
Yeah.
We also are under a full moon in Virgo, so she's coming in strong.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so if you find yourself either one trying to gain your footing, because it's a lot happening, you're just like, but I don't want to flow. Like,
Yeah.
that's tea. And then also, it's a great, it's just the spirit of getting shit together that usually happens under Virgo full moon energy. It's like, okay, what can I do? I need to declean. I need to declutter. I need to remove this. I need to remove that. I need to
organize.
I need to
I need to take a step back. I
I need
need
to put
to
it together.
I need to
Self-evaluate.
reevaluate what am I doing, what's not working. This might be a time where you're realizing some shit is just not,
It's no longer serving you.
it's no
Yeah.
longer like, what are we doing?
It's all about the making room for the new.
yes.
Like the new process, the new perspectives, and the
Yeah.
way to get to those new. Yeah, because shout out to Chris. She just definitely sent me this thing through Instagram. In order to make room for new blessings, you have to get rid of old mind frames.
Yes.
Yep, that's tea.
So you have to get rid of the old in
Yeah.
order to receive the new.
Yeah, and that falls under the feeling of being of productivity.
Yes.
And I love that because I know that we often, sometimes productivity can be approached with
Come on.
fear. It comes with angst. You know,
Apprehension.
like apprehension, hesitation, even your fear. Like I said, fear. Like you're just like, I have to be productive because if I don't do this, I'm gonna fall apart.
It's the it's
If
the
I'm
view of the
not-
productivity.
Yes, and just the other day I had tweeted how I'm starting to look at patience. I'm working on looking at patience as a good thing,
Yes.
like learning the value of waiting.
Being
and
still.
being still and kind of where I am right now, I have no choice but to wait.
Girl.
But it's also, y'all tell me all the time, it's very productive still.
Yeah.
Even sitting still, I'm being productive. 'Cause,
Yeah.
hello, what are we doing?
I'm only bringing a
growing
child.
human, that's all.
We're just
You're
growing
Only a
human.
baby in
Making
my
a whole new
stomach.
person.
Right. But then even then, a lot of people are metaphorically in gestation. You know what I'm saying? Like they're metaphorically birthing or
Yes.
metaphorically in their second, third, fourth month of an idea.
Yeah.
And
Come on.
so when you think about it in that way, it can allow you to see, okay, where do I need to be still? When am I
Yeah.
pushing too hard, doing too much? Am I going to hurt my dream or hurt this idea if I do this, if I step out and do that, So me being physically productive has taught me that the energy that we're carrying into this time, it travels all around. It's like it's necessary to know that, like, no matter whether you're doing it physically or mentally, spiritually,
Yeah.
your productivity goes beyond like your.
I'm glad you even
just your
say that.
ordered,
Right.
writing
Yeah.
things down.
Because
Yeah.
it is. I love that you said that because sometimes we forget that there is different levels of productivity.
Yeah.
There's a process to creativity. Like not everything happens in a doing action. You literally have to sit down with your thought,
Yes.
write things out, consider it, meditate on it, come
Yes.
back to it,
Yes.
organize it, and then find the resource to carry it out. Like, there's so much that goes into it, and as people and as creators, we forget that process. That's where the frustration and the the anxiousness,
Because it feels
and
like
then
we're not moving. And
yeah.
if we're not doing anything, then we're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And there's so much merit in the sowing of the seeds. That's something that you were talking about before we went live too. Just that seed sowing time. That is also productivity.
Yeah.
That's putting your intentions into a place where they have the opportunity to grow, develop, and then bloom. But that takes time.
Yeah.
None of that happens
Ooh.
overnight.
I saw a post that said, remember that harvest time and seeding time are not in the same, it's not in the same timeline.
Tea.
I'm just gonna sit
Seeding
in
and
silence for
harvesting
that
are not
one.
in
I'm
the
gonna
same.
just take a little drink on.
Yeah, I would join.
Remember that. And it makes me excited because I was like, what would this concept be
I feel like I
that we want to talk
forgot.
about? It's like our big idea. It's like big ideas. Because remember we were like, what should we call? And it's like, I feel like it's like this. We're coming off of winter.
Come on.
You know, we're slowly creeping away. Like,
We're starting to wake up a little bit. We
Rough.
wanna-
Little
we wanna
life.
move.
We're a
and
little
this past
frazzled.
was rough.
Girl.
Like dragged.
Yes.
And it was
Dragged.
Yes.
getting we got dragged.
Come on, Tom.
Dragged.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Down.
like by the end of
Down.
2020, we were tired. We said, you know what?
Girl, look.
It's fine.
I just rolled over.
You know?
Okay.
New day.
Let's
Girl.
try.
New day. But here we are.
Yes.
And I think now, especially with, the paragraph happening,
Yeah.
it has taught us the value of like, okay, what can I do in front of me?
And how productive we can be in stillness.
Yes.
How being forced to sit down, go inside, not move around as much, deal with whatever restrictions, and still be able to be extremely like
And to find value in it.
and find value in it.
Uh-huh.
Because no lie, this podcast itself was birthed in the midst of all of that,
In a parallelogram.
in the parallelogram,
Of
in
the
the midst
jank.
of a whole lot of jank and drama and nonsense. But goodness came out of it. It also
Hello.
took a time of sowing seeds.
Yes.
It took a lot of time of thinking about, well, what did we want to do? How did we want to do it? And the funny thing is, like, for me personally with this, because I've talked to both of you before we started doing this, that podcasting was something that I always wanted to try out.
Yes.
Like, I really wanted to. And I'd been playing around with the idea back and forth for a long time. How am I going to make it happen? To the point where the idea was there. I sowed the seed, but I had to leave it alone.
Right.
Wow.
I left it alone so much that I forgot about it, to the point where when we started talking about it again, I didn't even realize that now is the time when that was beginning to manifest, and now here we are. You know what I mean? And this is not what I envisioned.
Right.
It's better,
Listen.
but this is not how I saw it.
That's a whole word.
That's,
That's a whole
that's
word.
true because even when after I stopped mine, I was like, I knew I wanted
Right.
to do this, but I was like,
I was following you for a minute. I was
Yeah.
there for it.
I loved it, and she's gonna make her return eventually. But I really feel like this season, I felt like I was longing for, like, village.
Like the collab.
Yeah, like the collective
Yeah.
of this. I knew where I was coming from by myself, but I kind of got tired of listening to myself,
Yeah.
and I was like, I want some other opinions. I want other I want to
Voices.
share this.
Yeah.
Just adding to that dynamic.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, because other voices need to be heard other than mine. Even though mine is, it's valuable, and I was talking about things, but I was like, I know, and this is another thing. Sometimes when we have ideas and, like, you don't want to share them, right? Because you're like, this is mine.
Yeah.
But this...
It's precious.
Yeah, but for this, for the first time, not really, but, like, particularly with this, I just remember feeling like, damn, I want to... Like, this would be bomb if I did this with other...
Listen.
And I left it alone. This was
Right.
back in
What, like-
June. I think I was thinking about this. Because
Okay.
that was my last episode was, like, around June. And so I was thinking that to myself, like, damn, I really want to add some other dynamics. And I think I've talked to you about interviewing people, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And I left it alone.
Mhm.
And then this came about later,
Yeah.
too. Like, I was just like, I know I want to do this, like, with other people and just kind of like did away.
And then one day in the group chat, we were just like, this would be a dope act. Because, like, we send these long-ass voice memos to each other, okay?
Voice
Yeah.
memos to voice
where,
recordings.
To voice recordings. To the point where it's like they get into the 5, 6, 14 minute
When we hit the
range.
double digits,
I think
Yeah.
you wrote that record.
Listen,
didn't you?
I probably did. And
it's
then
between
when
y'all
the two of us, because we just, you know,
Oh, girl.
Rochelle starts preaching, I start, you know, I'm like spiraling in real time. It's a whole thing. So we got to the point where it was like, okay, we have to actually send voice recordings so that we can pause, go get a snack,
Rewind.
come back,
Yo, it's the best. It's the best
because
though.
there's nothing worse than being 30 seconds away from the end and somebody calls you.
Somebody
Oh, Jesus.
I was so mad because when that happened and Kat was like, "Oh, this ending," I was like, "I didn't hear the
I
ending."
didn't hear it. But this is the thing though. Like from all of that, we're just in listening to one another back and forth, because it just the way that we speak and communicate and process with each other, that made sense. And listening to it was like, this is like legit. We could like do
We
this
can
in
just-
a podcast format.
We
Like, this
yeah.
makes
we can
sense.
do this out loud.
And the two of us clicked because we were like, so
Bitch, we've been trying to do this.
Right.
Is this a thing? Are we doing this?
is this what we're doing?
This is what I wanted to tap in because it was really hitting me when you were talking about how you had the seed. This is a process that we're witnessing amongst each other. Is that sometimes there's a person that gets the seed, then there's someone that's already planting, and then there's also someone that doesn't even think that they have what it takes. Because I never thought,
She had the water.
I didn't know that was a type of nutrient. I had no idea.
You are a nutrient.
I am.
You are
I'm
an
an ingredient.
ingredient.
I am an ingredient.
You are the sun.
You are the
Yes.
Yes.
Leo, come through.
Come on, yes.
In the
I am.
cancer. Sun and
Come
water.
on, all of the water.
Earth and air. Earth and air.
Got burnt on me too, girl. I got the soil. Listen.
Soil.
But even
Do
that.
you want more of this? Because
Girl, no, she's real.
Okay.
I'm real cute.
I'm gonna finish this.
real sip.
Should have brought my sparkling cider.
I know.
Your cider.
But that is an example. And like, if anything, for everyone that's watching, like, please take this as an example of how, if you have an idea and you know that it's like really legit sitting inside of you in a way that it's genuinely like,
if it keeps coming back.
yes, know that you can do what is being poured and just constantly in rotation within yourself to do. You can. Like, the worst thing that can happen is that it just fails. But if it fails, you can figure out how to improve and try it again. Like Aaliyah said it best.
I think the greatest thing too is that we found a way, like you said, to find a productivity in what we were sowing into each other.
Yes.
And not even in a way of like not egotistical, like not an egotist, not like, oh, we've got all the answers.
No,
but we were like,
we don't.
No, that's why it's called therapy, not therapy.
Yeah, like it's But I really
We trying to figure this out just like the rest of y'all niggas. Trust me. Because a bitch is confused.
a bitch be confused
most of the time.
a good 90%.
I don't know what's
And-
happening.
But I love the fact that, but that's what that is. It's like, you know, amongst people that you respect and know what great things can come from being able to collaborate, and
having those mirrors held up to you too, you know, because a lot of times, and this is me speaking like from experience, and I know that we all share that. It's like when you're in the midst of your own bullshit, when it's swirling around you, you can't see it, and sometimes it looks much bigger than
It's
it is.
so much.
It's hard to sort through, and just having somebody to bounce that off of, whether it is a licensed clinical professional or your homegirl,
or just a real ass homegirl,
or just a
that'll tell you
real
the
ass
truth.
homegirl or homeboy or whatever,
That'll
just
tell
your
you the
people that'll tell you the truth
Yes.
with loving kindness. You know, because I'll take the truth any day. I don't need the sugarcoating, but that therapy can be found in so many places, and that's the point of this that we want to illustrate, because I've said it before. I found out a few months, I don't know, back that my therapist actually listens to our show, which at first I was like, huh.
Like, wow.
But then after, I was like, girl, but then I was also like, that's pretty dope.
Not
you
only
know?
listen, but she recommended the show.
But recommended it to another one of her clients, which, I mean, of course, that made us feel really great. But it's proof that there are different ways in which one can find and meet therapy
Yes.
and get through that processing. You don't have to go out and spend a ton of money. You know what I'm saying? There are building blocks to that. It's not the only way. You know, we're doing our part to help normalize and broaden the scope of what therapy looks like, especially in the Black and Brown community. Because
especially,
let's be real.
because there's a lot of times. I'm sorry, I mean,
No, you go.
especially because there are certain conversations that are taboo that aren't talked
Yes.
about, and like you were saying, normalizing healthy conversation, healthy dialogue, communication, communication itself. And I remember I was telling you, I was like, communication is real big in the air
It's
right
being
now.
highlighted.
And a little goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people underestimate, and it's a conditioning, so it's not something to throw around like at people, right? But it's a conditioning, because a lot of times we're set up to allow ourselves to prove ourselves through action, but sometimes communication is all you need in order to get
word is bond.
your point across. Right. Yeah. Like, I feel like the importance of word, but like there's a lot of mistrust, trauma of mistrust.
Yeah.
That people don't take things at face value.
Because people say anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Words and
people
are
also
like
take
wind.
advantage
It's very
of that.
frivolous,
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah.
So I get that. But at the same time, it makes sense, though, with what you were talking about before, with us being in a very Virgo energy, even though Virgo and we share the same planet. It's Mercury, which is the communicator. But Gemini and Virgo communicate in very different ways.
Very opposite.
Very opposite ways. I know, because my father was a Virgo, my mother's a Gemini. Jesus.
That makes
okay?
sense. My
That's
rising's a
action
Gemini.
and words. Action and words. Action
Lord.
and words.
But it's just
It's a beautiful union when it's done right, though.
it can be. There's definite. I've learned lessons in the most positive ways possible. So but I'm just saying, to your point, with that kind of energy being in the air and that kind of concise, productive type of conversation, it might not look the same as your typical, dialogue back and forth, but there's still something that's being communicated.
I
can't,
No, yes, you can. Because you do it. You do it.
I want to go to one of your classes, though.
You, girl, come on.
I call her rhythm.
I was getting so excited.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But yes, I just, to your point.
Yeah, I love that part. And so bringing that back, like, so now we're in this space. So now we're talking about in this full, because the moon is beautiful. I suggest y'all go outside if you check it out. When we were standing outside her house, I was like, I don't know if you saw her, but she was out there.
Is it full today?
She's coming on the 27th, which is
2 days.
Saturday.
2 days.
So
Yes.
she's forming. And
She's
she
coming,
looks
she's
waxing.
arriving.
She looks wonderful. Like, but it feels good. I think what it is, and it's really big on certain, like, clarity. My South Node is in Virgo, so anytime Virgo
does like to clear things up. Just
Yeah.
get it on the table. Just
I love
real.
that, though.
What are we talking about?
It's so
What are we
needed
doing?
because
I appreciate her.
what was it, like through retrograde? You just felt so cloudy.
Oh my God, retrograde.
Yeah, retrograde was.
And then you throw in the
ended the
Pisces.
day of your shower, and I felt
it the week
shift.
I felt it during the
I
week
swear.
where like certain routines was coming back, and I was like,
Yes.
this,
Yeah.
I felt it.
Communication was
Yes,
feeling
yeah.
more.
Communication, me doing my physical
Yes.
workouts. Like there were certain
Yes.
The
things.
confusion was just like, but
Yes.
we knew what to expect. In
Yeah.
that. And just
Yes.
FYI, also, if you're not familiar with the show, we're laden with cosmic energy. We talk about all this kind of stuff all the time. It like overlaps. It's very practical, but also very cosmic, because that's life.
Because that's life.
So,
it's practical and cosmic at the same time.
Just putting that out there.
Just get into it.
You know.
Go with it. But yeah, I agree. It was, now it feels clear. I feel like it is a little hazy in terms of, because I just feel like Pisces season can be,
But it's not
a
cloudy
little-
like it was during all
Yeah.
that Aquarius nonsense,
Yeah.
because
it's like
I was very, very confused.
because Aquarius, air, and now we're getting to the water. That's cleansing. We cleansing right now. We are cleansing, and this particular moon, which is the snow moon, which I told y'all ladies earlier, but it's encouraging us to get out of our own way, kind of take a step back and see, like, okay, if you find yourself like in a moment like, I'm gonna start my business, I'm gonna do this, I'm going back to school, I'm looking for this raise, like, this is your moment to kind of take a step back to see how you are standing in your own way, and what things you might need to release in this season, because this is the season, like, it's hella manifestation season, like,
it's usually, I mean, it's the season changing time too.
Yes.
You know, it's like, okay, we're done with the winter, we're done with death,
March
rebirth.
is about to be lit.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
You know,
Yeah,
the rains
March.
are coming. It's gonna get a little warmer,
Yes.
hopefully. You know,
Things are gonna start
we're
springing
blessed
up.
right now where we are, but I know there are parts of the country that are experiencing some extreme weather.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, but this is the time when those tides are changing energetically and in the natural and the physical.
And it's great that you said that, because that was also another part of the message that remember that the seeds are sown and that the blooming time is going to come.
Yes.
And this is where we exercise patience and that,
Yeah.
and trusting the work that you have put in, and trusting your productivity.
And how do you find your patience? Like, I found myself getting back into the Bible app and the Make a Plan. And
I love that make a plan. It's
listen,
fun. It's nice. It keeps you
it's
holds
been
you together.
I used to be on the roll, and no, I mean, no shade. It's just seasons
There's
has its
seasons.
reasons.
You fall on, you fall off.
Yeah.
It
And
happens.
in this time, the one that I was specifically I picked was about making space. And it's all about making that time for you to be centered within yourself. Like, going back to something as simple as, do I really need to make this trip to the store? Or can I just make something at home? Like, just little, like, conversations to ask yourself, like, do I
Small,
really
micro
need to do
changes.
Am
this?
I maximizing my time? Am I
Right.
using my time or my resources to the best
Mhm.
capacity
Right.
that
Like,
I have?
is this needed right at this very second? Can I wait? You know what I mean? So when I started doing the plan, it was just like, this is one that's required of myself. I don't need anyone to join me, even though you can have the option to share it. Shout out to Chris and Chriselle, because we're doing this together.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
but-
accountability buddies.
But
Yes.
just the fact that you find yourself, and what I wanted to ask is, what is your therapy? Because when you find yourself doing something that makes you happy, or that brings you the peace that you're needing, something that makes you feel good that you achieved, because sometimes what gets in your way is, I don't feel like doing it, I don't want to do it, I'm tired, oh, it's been a busy day, I'll just make up.
Or I've been here before.
You know what I mean? Like, those moments. And going into this season, I think for me, 'cause especially my planet of love is in Virgo, I can feel new passion in arise. Like, it's really coming strong. Hence, I feel like it's the perfect divine timing with the workshops that's happening, because there's like conditioning and training that I find myself falling in with my craft, and there's a
Yeah.
whole new love that I have right now that I'm just like, where is this coming from? It's a rededication.
Yeah.
And it's also like falling into the areas of like the days of Lent, where you find yourself rededicating yourself to making time for your spiritual
And
practice,
making
or
sacrifices.
yes, all of that matters. And sometimes we forget because we get on the go. We have to do this task, we have to complete whatever thing that's on our clipboard.
Isn't it interesting though how energetically so many of those things overlap? Because Lent is not necessarily something that I've ever celebrated, but just the energy or the idea of
Giving up something.
sacrifice.
Mhm.
What don't I need? Or what is it that I usually feel like I need to live with, that I can sacrifice, that I can let go,
Yeah.
that I can give up in the name of whatever.
Yeah.
It's the same energy.
Yeah.
It's the same
What are
thing.
Same
Yeah.
placement,
That's powerful.
same desire.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
And I feel like
powerful.
it happens around this time of year because that's just
Spring.
the natural energy that's in
I
the
love
air. It's
spring.
like, when I tell you, I already told y'all how I
Spring
felt.
babies.
The cabinets, they gonna get these pans in the
Yes.
next week and a half. Jars for days.
Yes.
Just, I'm,
Well, let me
I'm
get some.
getting
Let me
rid
get
of.
some of these jars, because when she be making her little oatmeal
I
shit,
got
I was
you. I have
like,
too many jars.
why
I love
does
to
this look
make
cute?
oats. I make overnight oats, y'all.
Yeah.
And they're so
You
good.
do. I remember.
They are so good. Like, they're just perfect. Like, if you make them at night and just like waking up in the morning, you can heat them up if you want and like have like a little oatmeal thing, or you could eat it cold, and it's just good either way. And it again, it's one of those things you don't have to worry about, because sometimes I'll fuck around and wait, and I'll be like, damn, I need to eat. You know, like, because you're automatically jumping into something.
You've met me.
You know. I'm proud of you.
I
I'm proud
ate
of you.
today.
I'm proud of you.
I ate breakfast
You ate
and
breakfast
lunch.
When you
and
had
lunch.
to clear, I was
She
laughing.
came back to
She
clear.
was like, just letting you know.
I had to
I did
clarify because
I did eat
y'all
the
know I will
I'm
skip a whole
gonna
meal.
start opening this, cause
M&M's, because I want to eat my Snickers, but I didn't want to be like
Well, I-
niggerish on the live.
It's
Is that
too,
okay?
It's too late. It's too late,
late.
y'all. I had already ate my banana bite.
shout out to my almond lovers.
So
We also have snacks regularly on the show, so
what I want to say though that I love is that
we take snack breaks.
I had already grabbed a banana
Snack
bite.
break,
low
snack
key.
runs.
Yeah. But so what's interesting about this too is that for me, so like I said, my Virgo's in South Node, so I have to release a lot of her shit, and my North Node is in Pisces. So
Wow.
I have to.
You're having a time.
Yeah, it's my destiny to be free and to flow and be my artistic self and to just,
Be great.
yeah. But my clipboard, it's like, okay, bitch, we can flow, but
Do you have your parachute?
at
We
5
have a
o'clock,
plan.
at 5 o'clock,
Can we have a plan?
can we have a plan? And I have to learn to trust.
You know, an interesting thought came to me this week. I don't remember what inspired it, but you just saying that I was thinking to myself, sometimes we meet the plan on the journey.
Right.
Me, I like to have the plan before I even step outside, and that is not always
Your
practical.
plan is the journey.
My
Like,
plan is.
like your plan is the like.
How can we start the journey without a plan? But sometimes you have to let it go and just start, and then you buck up on the plan. You like, you know what? This makes sense. This podcast is proof positive of that.
Yep.
Because I had no idea. But just to say, for the people that are like me, with the lists, with the color coded,
It's there.
with the to-do
we're not
lists,
capping with these.
I'm
boys.
proud of myself because I've gone from daily to-do lists with 20 to 30 items to a weekly to-do list, and it has helped my anxiety in a way.
Throw that out there.
For my
If
list
you need to
makers,
write things down.
If you have to,
And to make it look pretty.
Yeah.
That's because some people I had asked, what do they like to do for therapy? You got one that says art, walking by water, dancing and
Nice.
singing.
Yeah, water's everything.
You got one that says baths, nature, and music.
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. A lot of more
Water,
dancing,
nature.
music, and meditation.
Yes, and speaking of, so this is what makes it.
Oh, and then someone, you can answer this one. Crystal Designs says, still
Hey,
learning about the
Crystal.
nodes. What are they for?
Okay, so your nodes, your south nodes are basically it represents your past life, and your north nodes represent your destiny, like your life's purpose now. So, for instance, like I said, they're opposites of each other. So, my south node again is in Virgo, and the opposite of Virgo is Pisces. So, I have to release the need for perfection. The need for things to be right all the time. Like, I don't understand why we just can't have it I have to let her go. She serves her purpose now. Because
does.
our shadow self
She gathers.
She gathers, but she cannot lead. The natural, no.
Not all the time.
Not all the time.
Not
The
all the
natural
time.
spirit, my natural spirit and my natural sense of self is very intuitive.
Don't you find, though, that the shadow tends to lead in trauma?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When things go wrong,
Yeah.
they like to take lead.
Because it's like that survival mode.
Yeah.
But we don't always have to stay in survival mode.
No.
In fact, it doesn't serve us to stay in survival
At
mode.
all.
Speaking
No.
to myself.
Yep. And if y'all notice, like, out of all of us, I don't ever write anything down. But
I'm fascinated by that because
Yeah,
I've slowed
it's
down
just,
a lot.
I'm just extremely intuitive, but not to say like, oh, but it's just I've always been like, I got it.
I
got
don't.
it. Like
I
I'm
feel
just
like I'm
I
like,
got
I
it.
don't have it.
She's like the medium.
Yeah,
I feel like I
receive
have
it.
that, but also like because I've learned how to communicate myself through writing.
No, but same because I'm a rapper, like
Yeah.
I'm an artist. But at the same time, what I've noticed is that even when making music, you just gotta trust yourself. Like
Yeah.
sometimes what you write down, like in your verse, and then you get there, it's a whole different,
not it.
a whole different thing. Like you end up
That's
writing
facts.
a whole new verse,
I'm about to think on this.
How many times have we had a whole plan coming into the podcast?
and it'd be a whole different thing.
and then
So that's
get
the
to recording and it's like, that's not it.
yeah. So for me to be highly intuitive, that's very Piscean of me to allow that to lead my life. It hasn't always led my life, but when I started, a lot of things started to change for me because I'm learning to trust that inner voice and my intuitiveness. I've always been that way, but there's things that have happened to me that caused me to, like, I feel like the way you write things down, it's because like that's your shit. Like because look at it, it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
real
It's well
pretty.
dedicated.
My clipboard came from a lot from second guessing because people would question me, or then I would start to question myself. So then I'd be like, oh, like
Let me check myself.
everybody else is writing. Why am I not writing? When I don't need to. I
Mine
just
comes from like my mind.
yeah, like
Let me
it
put this on
works.
the paper.
Same.
Where y'all come
Yeah.
from
Same.
is from that place.
Girl, because it's just.
Exactly.
And what's crazy for me is that if I need to write it down, I absolutely will. And it's very like earthly things like times, dates. But when it comes to like knowing what to say,
I admire that
I
about you,
just
though.
I just be whatever. So getting back to the question, it is my life's destiny. It's my purpose to be that person, to be a healer, and to be who I am. In that sense, and I have to release that Virgo, that over perfectionism, that over analyzing, that second guessing, that questioning, that high. So, if you look at your chart, your north node. If you look at your north node, you can find out. Like for instance, hers is in Gemini, which is which is awesome because your destiny is to be among the collective and doing collaborative things, creative collaborative things, which you're doing. Her south node, however, is a Sagittarius with a fur coat on in the car that doesn't want to get out. You get what I'm saying? So we all have our
It's like
opposing
opposite- yes.
shadow
Yes.
selves that keep us from being who we're supposed to be. And what's so funny is that when we're talking about in this Virgo energy, so I signed up to take a 100-hour meditation certification.
Word, nice.
So I'm gonna get certified in meditation.
Hell yeah.
Y'all about to holler at her.
So I'm adding that to the bag.
Listen.
So, cause we got plans.
Because crafty host.
Cause crafty hosts, we got plans. So, but I thought it was hilarious that I'm like in this super productive time. I was like, I'm gonna do a meditation course.
Yes.
Like, how more Piscean productive can I be than
Yes. Then the
to
meditation.
do a spiritual class?
I love it.
So yeah, it's a great time to dive in and ask yourself, what are my big ideas? What do I want to do? And like, if you
And be real with yourself about it. Like,
and be
don't
real.
be afraid
Don't
to
hold
dream
yourself
big.
back. Yeah. This is
To
the
limit
season.
yourself. Don't limit
Pisces
yourself.
season is when you get dramatic. Go as big as
Be
you want to
dramatic
go.
because this is time to sow those seeds and to speak that into existence. Speak it into reality. Like,
And I will say, write it down.
write.
I
Yeah.
do write my ideas down.
Don't type it into your phone.
Yeah, write it down.
Write
Real
it
paper,
down.
real pencil.
And if you're
Pencil,
even feeling
paper,
extra,
pen, paper,
put that-
manifestation.
Yeah.
Put that on the wall.
Yeah.
Put it on
Because
the
then you put it
wall.
in there. It's out the mind. It's in the atmosphere.
You can see it, visualize it. It'll be on the forefront. Think about it before you go to sleep.
Yes.
And
Meditate on it.
it's a really great manifestation technique is before you go to bed, is to visualize what it is that you want and manifest that feeling. Manifest that feeling of whatever
Imagine
it
as
is.
if it's happening
Yes.
to you, like in the present. Speak
Yes.
about it in the present moment, not
And-
in the future tense,
So
not in the conditional sense.
and go to sleep with that energy and wake up refreshed. Did it see? Yes, see,
I was trying to find a song.
we connected.
Yes.
I was gonna say, speaking of time,
energy.
speaking of crafty
Whoa.
hoes, if you want to bust out these chords, you know what I'm
Diddy,
talking
diddy.
about.
No, but yes, it got crazy real quick. Okay,
Yes.
but it's
He was on his
Okay.
It's not a show without that. It's not a show without that.
Yes.
Whoa.
For those who did not know, behind it. Okay.
It's her almost every single time.
Every single time.
But yeah, so like I just encourage everyone to embrace this feeling. If you're feeling like, and even if you're feeling a little ungrounded, it's okay. Like, we're transitioning into a new season.
Yes.
However, like, find where you are and ask yourself these questions. This is a reevaluating time. This is a moment of, okay, what are my goals? What are my dreams? What is no longer serving me? What's not helping me anymore?
Yeah.
Like, what's the shit I gotta get rid of?
And you gotta be willing to
Who do
really
I have to
see.
get rid of?
Who do I have to get rid of?
Who needs to get out of the way?
Whom?
Is
And
it
sometimes
me?
that whom is you. Hello?
Sometimes it's
Ooh.
you.
Because sometimes we are standing strongly in our own way.
Planted in the ground.
Just real
Okay.
in our face.
Mad
Wow.
at everybody else but ourselves.
But it's really ourselves. We're looking at ourselves.
Our
'Cause
shadow
it's you.
selves. And sometimes like that, like I said with the nose, y'all, sometimes our south node is just staring us dead in the face.
Girl.
And she's the sabotage. Self-sabotage shows up in many different ways. It shows up. It shows up in excuses. It shows up in, you know, like, oh, I'm tired. I don't feel like it. I can't do this. I don't have the money for it. Da da da. Da da da.
Stop talking about me.
Self-sabotage comes in many different forms and fashions.
Stop
I'm
talking
like,
about
us.
Because
It's true though. Self-sabotage is tea. Self-sabotage will have you being like, ooh, my knee.
So for those who
I gotta
might
lay down.
if you don't know
We should.
about your nodes,
'Cause that-
please hit
At
Cheese, Fighting
CRAFTY
all the social medias,
HOECO
please.
Crafty Ho
please.
Co.
Because
Find
I'm
her.
the reason why I'm sitting
She
here
does
having like a
readings.
moment.
She will gather you.
'Cause
She
I'm
will tell you all
understanding
your
the
business.
nodes.
She will get you together.
Listen,
She will
that's
talk
why-
about
that's
your
why you catching
nodes.
me having my
She can
moments.
read your chart.
They are
She will get your life
We
together.
are screaming.
I will though.
Okay.
I will
Listen,
though.
stop fucking around.
Yes. No, get
Honestly.
it. Seriously, because once you know and you start to
It gives you
see,
so much more
you
understanding
start to
of
understand.
yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes all the sense.
And your own whys. Because there's a lot
that no
more
one
to
else has
it.
to answer.
Yeah.
Everybody, like, listen up for real. There's more to it than your sun sign. If you're really into this, like, if you're really interested in what makes you you cosmically, you need to get into your natal chart, aka your birth chart, and then you need to find you somebody that can read it, which is right here.
Okay.
Okay?
There's others, however, we are.
There are others, and they're
there are
fabulous,
others.
but,
And-
you know, one-stop shopping all that.
just let you know, like, if you guys are looking for, if you're like, girl, like, I hear you, but I don't think you're the one. I know some really great astrologers too. So just know that the supply is endless.
Because astrologers, like therapists, not everybody is for everyone. You got to try on some different people. Everybody is not compatible. It is totally okay to try out a therapist and or an astrologer and say, you know what, this is not working for me. I need to go somewhere else. It's perfectly fine.
And I just told somebody too the other day, I was like, you know, so to make it clear, to intuitive read and tarot read is two different things.
Yes.
They fall hand in hand, but intuitive read is a guide. I can't tell you your future.
It's gone, girl.
I know.
I'm an asset. Girl.
She said.
I wanted to see.
That's okay. I know. It'd be like this sometimes. You go to your cup and be like.
As the wine flows.
Yes.
Are we getting into the reading?
Yes, girl.
Yes,
because it's 9:51.
How much time do we got left?
We got about 10 minutes.
10 minutes. All right.
Quick 10-minute read.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. Just, you know, in case we wander over a little bit, we thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for plugging in to the live. We hope to do this more often.
Yes.
You know, we'll have a brand new, fresh episode for y'all next week, for sure, for sure. Therapy Not Therapy comes out every Thursday on all the streaming platforms. You can find us if you go to MPN-LLC.com. We have the link in our bio on Instagram and all the places. So if you need to find the latest episode, please check it out. We would love it if you're not familiar. If you are and you're a fan, we love y'all. Thank you so much for the support. Like, y'all don't even understand. We saw them 1,000+ downloads and we was just like having a whole praise and worship service in here. So what we typically do at the end of the show is we have a card reading. Kel has taken that over completely. We have a different deck today. It is my deck, but she is an intuitive reader, so she's going to give us a read for the day, and then we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to go. We love y'all. Thank you so much. Follow us at TNTPODJAX. I'm done. All right, bitch.
Yes. So, yes, we did
Snatch us.
The wisdom of the Tao.
The eyebrows.
No, her face. You should have seen her face.
The edges.
Yeah, we're going to go in order here. So, I pulled, usually I do a 3-card spread, or sometimes a 5 if it gets dramatic. But we did a 3-card.
We did have a dramatic ass 5-card spread a couple
and that
weeks
was
ago.
tea. That was tea.
Oh, and all the readings from our show, if you ever want to check it out, you got to go to craftyhoco.com. I'm sorry, I just gave you a whole .com. Jesus.
Oh, speak it. Speak it.
Yes, we're going to have a crafty hoco. We're going to .com that bitch. But until then, go to the crafty hoco on Instagram. This is like 2.5 glasses of wine. I'm going to be quiet. Okay.
So we did the Dow deck, and then I'm sure I'll get the footage from here because I don't have my phone to record with it.
Yes.
So the first one is wind, flow. Be in harmony with the flow. There is no need to overburden yourself. Ride the wings of the wind, especially those gusts from the southeast. Relax and be ready for the next surge of energy. Utilize your good timing, end of spring and beginning of summer.
Look at that.
Wow.
So already,
check our hand.
Gotta ride out. The second one, resist dependency. Take nothing for granted.
Hello.
Stand firm and do not give in to the urge of attachment. Everything falls apart if you waver. With addiction, obsession, dependence comes loss of freedom. Do not forfeit your liberty.
Shell is gone, y'all. Shell is gone.
Jesus!
That was.
She just slid down.
She slid down.
Please, let us get a clip of this slide down she did and just do like a.
No, you need to put her sound.
Because that was so dramatic.
Oh God! Go ahead.
For the final card is be flexible. Everything happens for a reason. There are many options out there. Perfection is an illusion. Talking to me.
Wow.
Perfection.
So we all got
hello. Energy. Hello. Perfection is an illusion.
Hello, girl. Hey.
Hey, girl. Hey.
You can move forward even while going against the current. Particularity will divert you from your destination. So we gotta go with the flow.
Mr. Alp, how much time we got left? 5 minutes. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Should I pull one more?
I mean, if you feel inclined.
I felt inclined.
But
basically, you gotta go with the flow. Resist dependency. Like, don't fucking sabotage yourself. Be flexible, because shit is changing.
It's in flux.
We are here. We are in a new season. We're in a new time. Like, get into it.
Look at it. Just fell the fuck out the deck.
Yeah. Solitude from the northeast indicates a fresh new cycle. Meditate and reflect. This is solitude. Meditate and reflect upon your accomplishments and lessons learned. Engage in emotional and physical cleansing to elicit new ideas. Make the best of your timing into winter and beginning of spring.
I'm done.
Hello.
Which is where we are.
Where we at?
It's time.
The real
It's
new
the time.
year.
I'm telling y'all.
So give us a comprehensive wrap up of this entire.
So
spread.
basically, look,
and
go
make it real cute.
go with the flow. All right. Understand that you are in harmony. There's no need to stress yourself.
Don't
you are
stress.
where you are.
You where you supposed
Utilize your good timing. We're in good timing also to be patient and be ready because the next surge of energy is coming. Resist dependency, whether it be with an addiction, obsession, self-sabotage, depression, fear. All these things is attachments to you. And it's time for
to be.
you
And
to take
attachment
nothing.
is the root of all suffering. Hello.
There we go. Do not forfeit your liberty. Learn to stand firm in yourself. Understand that it's a fresh start. There's no such thing as perfection. It's an illusion. Okay? Learn to be flexible. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Everything happens for a reason. There are many options out there. You can move forward even though shit is wild. Just keep going. Don't let over-perfectionism divert you from your destination. If you want to start some new shit, do some new shit.
Do
you want to
that
become a new
shit.
person, be a new person.
Do it.
If
Be
you want to
it.
change.
Change.
It's okay. Like, it's okay to reinvent yourself, to
Change.
evolve.
If
and
people don't understand that's okay, they're not supposed to come with you. Everybody that came with you cannot go with you.
Exactly.
Hello?
Seasons and reasons.
And ultimately, your solitude is everything. But a lot of people are afraid to be alone, to sit with themselves. You have to understand that this is the time for a fresh new cycle. This is the moment. Remember I was saying earlier, I said it's a moment of reevaluation. Did I not say that?
You
Meditate
did.
and reflect upon your accomplishments and lessons learned. Understand how far you came to go up this motherfucking mountain.
This
Engage in emotional and physical
fucking
cleansing
mountain.
to elicit new ideas. New ideas. Great ideas. See,
New
on the money.
ideas.
Make the best of your timing.
Do it.
The interwinter and early spring. We are stepping into it. Step into your shit, man.
Step into your
Be
shit.
productive in all forms. Not just physical, but mentally, spiritually, emotionally. This is the time. We're in transition. If things feel uncomfortable for you, it's because we're transitioning.
Yeah.
You're not always going to be you're not always going to be comfortable in life.
And it's uncomfortable because you're not meant to stay where you are.
No.
It's
Get
part
out
of
of
the
your
process.
comfort zone. It's change.
Yeah.
Get into the change. Go with the flow.
Get into
Yeah.
the change.
Get flexible.
All that shit.
You gotta stretch. Get into it.
I'm gonna bring
Got
it
to
back to
stretch.
what you were saying in regards of like just going with the flow. I had literally said this in the car, like sometimes if you just stop trying to create the vision that God gave you,
You can't create.
you can't create
Yeah.
what God had already gave you. You could come up with a vision, however,
You
when
can
you
step
find
into
yourself,
You can step into that.
that's all you're required to
But you
do is to
cannot-
step inside of it. You are here to receive the vision. However, when you start to nitpick at it, when you start to take away and think that this is the way that it's supposed to,
Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Don't look a gift horse.
Especially a cosmic gift horse.
Yep. And
Yep.
if you don't know what that means, don't take shit for granted.
yeah,
Appreciate it for what it is. Don't
Yeah.
look a gift horse. You're gonna start picking it apart.
Yep.
That
That picking?
saying, I had got a reading and it kept telling me, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. It was talking to my Virgo. It's don't pick apart the blessings that are given to you.
Just accept them.
Just
Yep.
accept them as they are.
They're
Say thank you.
yours.
Give gratitude.
Yeah.
And allow it to help
Know
you
that
build.
they're yours. Own them.
Yes.
and no one can take that away from you.
Nobody can take
If it's
home.
yours to keep,
What is for you cannot be unfor you.
Come
Hello?
on.
And the more that you pick up particularity will separate you from your destination.
Yep. I feel like that's a natural end. Are we almost there, Mr. LP?
all right.
Thank y'all so much for joining us on this live. We appreciate you
Take
so much. Shout out to the MPN podcast network. This is 2 glasses of wine. I'm so sorry. We'll be back next week, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us on the live once again. I am Energy.
I'm Chi.
And I'm Shell.
And this is Therapy Not Therapy. You can follow us on all the socials at TNTPODJAX. We got all these episodes. Go back and start listening from season 1 because the shit is real.
It's
Shout out to
beautiful.
everybody. Normalize therapy and all that shit.
And all
Get a
that
good
shit.
get a good group chat.
Get a good
Yes,
chat.
get your friends in the group chat.
Normalize making friends as adults. Working on your trust issues so you can
Adult
do that.
Friendships is a recent episode. Check into that shit. Listen to it. Oh my god. Yeah. Bye y'all.
Yes.
And our live is
Oh,
still
we gotta
going over
end.
here, though.
We gotta end it.
On the MPN network. And the
Live
intro
still
music
going.
is courtesy of Wes Harris. The song's name is Chamomile, and that's T.
That was cute.
That's tea.